Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate and I love all things makeup, skincare, beauty, and fun. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 recommendations for foundation for the summertime. Worth noting that I am 33 years old. I live in New England, so it's a mixed bag up here. It's a mixed bag. However, in the summertime, it's really hot, it's really humid, and I have combination skin. So I have parts of my skin that stay dry and normal, but other parts of my skin are oily as ever. An absolute oil slick. So if this video seems like it's going to be something that's informative and helpful, I encourage you to stick around, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. But without any further ado, let's go. I tried to come up with a good mixture of products that I think are going to work for multiple types of combination skin, because certainly I know my combination skin is, you can see it right now, is more so dry to normal outside here, whereas my T-zone, oil slick, oil central, water slide. So I'm trying to accommodate those of us that have combination skin that really it's normal to dry as well as normal to oily. So I tried to do my best. So hopefully this is helpful. I do have a mixture of high-end, luxury, and drugstore. So I tried to include more cost-effective options as well as some splurge items. Let's just get into it without any more babbling. The first one I want to talk about is actually a foundation balm. This is by Wayne Goss, and this is, what is it? The Luxury Cream Foundation. So I love this. First of all, this is definitely more of a summer shade for me, but the texture on this is just really, really beautiful. It does set down, so it's not a product that you're going to have to worry about slipping and sliding all over the darn place all summer long. I just think that this is such an easy, ready to go foundation. It's going to be light to medium coverage. It's definitely a buildable formula. I think that if you can get your little hands on this and you enjoy a more natural finish that's going to be, again, light to medium coverage, you will absolutely enjoy this. Worth noting too that this comes in a bundle. I believe it's on Beautylish, where you can get a bundle that comes with a little poof. If you are interested in this type of a product, I think that you will not be disappointed by that poof. It is my favorite one in my collection. I think if you want the poof separately, it's like $10. It works so beautifully with cream foundations. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 that poof, and 10 out of 10 this balm. Not a greasy mess. Beautiful. Switching to something that's definitely more cost effective, this is by L'Oreal, and this is their True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. So this is the lightest coverage foundation that I've ever met in my life. So if you are really just looking to even out the skin tone, but not cover up blemishes, not cover up imperfections, you're gonna love this one. It also does provide a definite luminous finish. So if you're somebody that struggles with dry skin or combination dry skin, I think that this one is going to be right up your alley. This again is in my summer shade because it's a product that I so much love in the summertime. In the summertime, personally, I tend to scale back on the coverage because I find that if I'm sweating or like doing things and I'm active, I'm less likely to have a cakey, breaking apart mess on my face. It's also worth noting I work in healthcare, specifically mental health, in a residential program. So for me, I'm like constantly hustling and bustling around. So again, I just go for a more lightweight, minimal coverage look, typically speaking, in the summertime. And so consequently, I love this one. I did mention this has hyaluronic acid in it. So again, for those of us that have combination skin or dry skin, definitely this is a really nice one. My only cautionary tale is I like to set my face with a setting spray first, because I know hyaluronic acid is one of those that kind of needs that moisture down first so that it's not actually sucking the moisture out of our skins. But skins sounds very creepy. Out of our skin, singular. Anyways, yes, I enjoyed this one. I think you will too. I believe this is around $14. Just super easy, super lightweight. Apply, set, and go. Similarly, but definitely at a different price point, this is one of my holy grail foundations. This is the Traceless Soft Matte Foundation by Tom Ford. This gives a nice medium coverage to the skin, as well as, just as it says, a soft matte. So this is not going to be super mattifying, but it's going to definitely help, in my opinion, keep your face set, keep those oils at bay. So if you are somebody that's not so much loving a dewy finish in the summertime, I think this is a beautiful compromise. This is around like $90, however, so this is definitely one of those splurge items. That being said, I've had this is going to be, I think, my second year with it. I can't get enough of it. It's currently my Project Pan because I don't want this to go bad, but also it works out really well because this is like my go-to during the summertime. Again, that soft matte that's not going to like completely dehydrate your face, but is going to help keep the oils and sweat and ish at bay. I love this. I love this. A true medium coverage. It can be built up, but this is not going to be one of those. I have some higher coverage ones to talk about here today. This is not going to be that one though. If you are looking for a more high coverage, but still soft matte finish, may I suggest the KVD Good Apple Foundation Serum. It says serum. The consistency and the way that it applies to me does not feel super serum-y. This, on the contrary, feels like very serum-y, very light coverage. This is not going to be that at all. This is definitely full coverage soft matte. So I'm actually wearing it today, and it's one of those that is not going to, like, again, completely suck the life out of my face, because on a day like today, it's going to get to be around 70 degrees. I don't need a super mattifying product. As like right now I want full glam, but I don't need a super mattifying product. And that is why I went with this one. This is one of my top 3 foundations of all time. I simply love this. I will say, I don't think this one is one that can be sheared out very well. So if you are somebody that really is looking for a more light coverage product, this is not going to be your friend. If you are looking for medium to full coverage, this is absolutely going to be your friend. I love this. I don't find that it like dries out my skin, because again, over here, it's more dry to normal, but right here is where I really, really don't want to look like a water slide is like pouring down my face. You know, it's just not the move. It's not the vibe. This, so good. So good. If you have not tried this, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Full glam, full beat, fully endorse. Kind of switching gears a little bit, we're going to go back to the Glow. This is by Armani Beauty, and this is their Neo Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. So this again is going to be a light to medium, definitely airs on the light side foundation, and this is a beautiful, glowy, natural, luminous base. I enjoy this one for the same reasons that I enjoy kind of that serum foundation by L'Oreal. This one though has definitely more coverage. So if you're looking for something that's going to feel really lightweight, really effortless on the skin, but provides just a little bit more coverage, this is going to be your go-to. As you can see, this is clearly my summer shade and clearly a product that I personally love in the summertime. I just love it. It really does set down beautifully. I always set my face with powder just because, again, combination skin, I have to. But once it's blended in, it does provide a beautiful, soft glow to the skin without being an absolute oil slick, because that's where I draw the line. That is where I draw the line. Some of the products on the market for our dry skin girlies and guys, I totally love, but for me, they just don't make sense in the summertime because they're going to slide off. This is not that. Beautiful, soft, radiance, 10 out of 10. Love it. Similarly, if you are looking for a light to medium coverage, but a more cost-effective option, may I suggest this one by ColourPop. This is their Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I love this stuff in the summertime. I love this stuff in the wintertime because it does, in my humble opinion, provide a true medium finish and has that, again, a very similar luminosity to the skin, but it's not going to be something that I am really struggling to set down. It's not something that I'm going to be really upset when it inevitably breaks apart. This one is a little bit of a lighter shade, you can see, than that Giorgio Armani one. I bought this one in the wintertime. However, I prefer this almost in the summer just because, again, tinted moisturizer, CC cream, BB creams, lighter coverage is something that I totally go for in the summertime so that I don't have a breaking down cake when I'm inevitably sweating my face off. Love this one. Medium coverage, light luminosity, and does provide hydration to the skin. I have a couple of cult classics here. This first one is by Armani Beauty again. This is his Luminous Silk Foundation. I love this foundation. This is a light to medium buildable coverage foundation, and it definitely provides, again, that really natural luminous. You can kind of see like a theme here with what I typically prefer in the summertime, and it's that lightweight, natural radiance, but easy to set down foundation. This one is definitely not a cost-effective option, but it's absolutely a beautiful option. If you're ever on the fence about it and you enjoy a light to medium luminous finish, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. I find that this applies well with a brush or a sponge. I typically always use a sponge just because that is my preferred method, but this is one of those that works really well with both of them. I find that honestly the only one that doesn't apply super great with a brush is this one, but the rest of them, that reigns true as well, where it is light enough coverage and it's not too thick where a brush really is going to lay it down beautifully without leaving a ton of streak marks. So again, this one I just can't recommend enough. It's a cult classic for a reason. This one, I know some things go viral and it's like, why do people love this? This one, in my humble opinion, I totally see why people love, and it is one of my tried and trues. If you're really wanting to spend some coin and you love a full glam heavy matte look, this is the one for you. This is the GOAT. This is by Gucci, and it is their Eternité de Beauté foundation. I have mine. I don't think I've been telling you the shades. I'm so sorry. I have mine in the shade medium fair. It's admittedly a little bit too dark for me right now. However, I think in the summertime when I finally do want a full beat, this is going to absolutely be great, especially on those really, really hot days. If you have dry skin, I do not think you're going to like this one. I do find that this one is more drying than this one. This one I don't find to be drying at all. This one will suck the oil right out of your face. So if you're somebody with oily skin or oily combination skin and you love a full beat, I don't think you'll be disappointed by this one. I love it. Worth noting, again, I got medium fair 265C. The undertone is lovely, but the shade itself is just a little bit too deep. So I would probably go lighter if you are looking to grab this one. But I love this. I don't find that it cakes up. It definitely provides that full coverage, full beat glam, and it withstands high temperatures. So when I'm hot and sweaty and just oily and gross, I do not find that this one breaks down on me the same way that some of my other even like beloved full coverage foundations do. I'm very grateful to have this in my collection. However, worth noting, this is a $70 foundation. So if you are just like, I cannot swing that, I'll tell you what you can swing. And it's this one. I don't understand why more people don't talk about this foundation, honestly. This is the Matte CC Cream with Neutrogena, and it has niacinamide in it. My skin personally loves niacinamide, so that might be why. However, I have this one particularly in the shade Shell 1.0. I also have this in a deeper shade for the summertime because this is so perfect. Full coverage is not an understatement. This is definitely full coverage. It's one of those that I personally think is kind of hard to sheer down. And so I think if you're looking for light coverage, this is not going to be the one that you're going to gravitate towards. But I do find that this does such a great job of absorbing my oils, not breaking down, not looking disgusting by the end of the day. And we all know what I'm talking about. We all know those days where you've just overexerted yourself even more than you thought based on the makeup that you picked for the day, and your face is like slipping off. It's just not the move. I don't find that with this one, and this one is certainly more cost effective than the Gucci one, so it really just kind of depends on what price point you are comfortable with. I don't find this one to be quite as drying as the Gucci one, so in that way I don't think it's going to absorb oil quite the same, but it's definitely a more cost-effective and still very effective and beautiful alternative to the Gucci one or even to the KVD one if you are on the prowl for a full coverage, full glam, beautiful matte foundation. The last product I want to talk to you about is another cult classic. This is by Pat McGrath Labs, and this is her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. So when I got this one, I was expecting it to be full coverage for some reason. I don't know how that got up here in my pea brain. However, that is not what this is going to be. This is going to be a light to medium coverage foundation. I prefer this one with a sponge. I just find that I do get a little bit of streak mark business with a brush. However, I love this. It's so beautiful on the skin. It's a soft matte finish in my opinion, and it does such a nice job of layering onto the skin, sinking right in, blurring out imperfections. You can see it's definitely more of a liquidy consistency, but it does cover imperfections slightly without, I mean, if you, like right now, for instance, you can see I have a blemish right here. It's going to cover up that redness, but it's of course not going to do as good of a job of like covering it completely as some of the more full coverage ones. But again, it's one of those that, in my opinion, soft matte, lasts beautifully throughout the day. It's going to allow your natural beauty and luminosity to shine through. I love this one. Definitely not a cost-effective option on the higher price point, but in my opinion, super worth it. Those are my top 10 foundation recommendations for summer 2023. Let me know down below if you have any of these, if you love any of these. Let me know if there's any products that I didn't mention that you super love and you're like, what is wrong with you? How did you not mention this? Please let me know. I'm always on the prowl for the next best foundation. I love foundation. It's a problem. I need to do declutter at this point. That'll be coming soon enough. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Would love it so much if you would subscribe to my channel down below. As always, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay blessed. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.